Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to dive into a topic that I think is going to resonate with a lot of us. Almost two-thirds of sustainability professionals are dealing with burnout, and that's not surprising if we think about the burden that's on our shoulders to push for sustainability initiatives at work, at home, and in our societies. The World Health Organization defines burnout as a state of physical and mental exhaustion caused by chronic workplace stress. And this is something felt much more by women than by men, and that's only grown this gender gap since the pandemic. I'm ecstatic to be joined by Michaun Winborn today, who is a leadership coach and expert in inclusive thinking, who's going to help us really reimagine what success can look like. Michaun, would you mind kicking us off by reintroducing yourself?
Of course. So, hi everyone. My name is Michaun Winborn. I am a wife, a mother, a daughter, all the things. I'm here in Columbus, Ohio, and I currently run a business called Born to Win Coaching, where we do executive one-on-one coaching, but we also facilitate workshops and leadership sessions specifically around leadership development and inclusive behaviors and habits and being culturally intelligent. So, really excited for this conversation.
I
Thank you
am
for having
too.
me.
And so that is a lot of different hats that you're wearing and a lot of different things that you're helping people improve on. Thinking as a woman who's doing all these things, how do we define success and what does that look like?
Yeah, so I think one of the first things I think about is being from corporate America, having worked in corporate America for a very long time and now not in it anymore. One of the ways that we always see success is that you're winning, right? You're dominating and you're conquering. You're taking over for someone, you're the new leader, you get a promotion. It's all about um, conquering. And that model is collapsing. I don't know how many of you have worked with younger people that are coming into the workforce. If you work with anybody under the age of 30, generally, they're showing you actively that that model is collapsing because they're not buying into it. They're just not going to engage in it. They are not about it. They want their work-life balance for real.
Hmm.
And honestly, that model was never sustainable. To continue to conquer and to continue to dominate over others, it destroys the very system that you're trying to build because no one can live that way. And so when you bring up burnout, that's one of the things that happen when you're consistently striving and working for someone else, which obviously people have to work for others, right? But when you're consistently measuring your worth in what the output of your work product is, in what title you can achieve, you are going to burn out. I believe that true achievement is aligned with your purpose. That if you are really understanding who you understand what you're on the earth to do, that is where you tie your achievement and your success. You measure it by yourself, not against whatever KPIs and OKRs that a corporate entity will give to you.
I love that. And I think that that's super hard to keep in mind as you're in a setting where you're working for somebody else, and that's kind of that success that is being required of you. So, how do we refine that purpose and rewrite this narrative of what success looks like?
Yeah, so I think the first thing to do is to find what your purpose is. So, whatever job that you're working in, you can find different ways to infuse your purpose into that work, and that will continue to sustain you. My coaching practice, Born to Win Coaching, we really think about reclaiming achievement and success as something that is personal, but it's also community based and it is sustainable. So it's not about chasing someone else's metric. It's about remembering who you actually are and building from that, creating a self regenerating system within yourself. Um, the last thing I'll say about it is that achievement is not about being better than other people.
Hmm.
It's about being fully who you are, because if you are fully who you are then in service to something bigger than yourself, and you don't have to worry about what other people are doing because they should all be fulfilling their own purposes on the earth.
I love that. This resonates so much with me on a professional level, but on a personal level, it makes me think of my hobby, which is being a runner. And like, it's really easy to compare yourself to the super fast person or the person that you're like, wow, they did all these things, but at the end of the day, you're really running against yourself and then the
Yes,
clock or whatever it is.
yes.
And that sounds like a very similar mindset to what you're recommending. And so, what is your biggest advice that you would share with somebody who's really hoping to find success on their own terms?
Mm. So I have a mini system called with three R's. So the first thing would be rest. You have to rest. It's not being lazy. It's actually helping you to become sustainable, right? Rest is not a reward. It is something that every human needs to be alive. You have to sleep sometime. You have to get moments where you can either close your eyes in the middle of the day for 5 minutes and just rest your eyes, or turn off your phone so that you're not on social media all day, every day, or actually get 8 hours of sleep, or six. Six is even good. Getting 6 hours of sleep, which can be difficult when you have lots of family obligations, when you have a high demand job. I understand that. I have three bonus children and two children that I birthed. I also have a husband. I have a mother-in-law who lives with me. I get it.
Wow.
There's a lot going on in our lives, but you have to make time for that because you cannot be a proper leader in
Hmm.
any space if you are not resting. And that's going to help you to overcome the burnout, right?
Yeah.
The second R is reflection. So the biggest practice that I have in coaching, and any coach that you go to really should make this is their main practice. Self-reflection. No one can grow, no one can be successful, no one can achieve anything if you are not taking stock of where you are, whether that's through feedback from others, whether that's from just self-reflection, whether that is from reading more so that you get a different perspective. You have to reflect. Um, a lot of people are chasing success, but they're not actually pausing to think about whose definition of success am I living by? Or what am I doing this for? Like, these are basic questions that you should be considering regularly. And if not regularly, at least like once a quarter. Like, take stock of where you are, take stock of where you're trying to get to. Are the things that you're doing sustainable? Are they going to help you reach that goal? Or are you just futilely doing things that are not moving you forward towards anything? And then the third thing I would say is regeneration. You have to grow forward, right? You hear a lot of people say a lot of leadership, thought leadership is around, being able to take lateral moves and not necessarily going up a ladder, but going sideways. I would say that is absolutely true. But even when you're going sideways, you're going towards something, right? You're not just taking steps back. You are working towards something. Even when you're going backwards, even when you have to reroute yourself and start back at the beginning, you're still moving towards something.
Yeah.
So regeneration is about building a life, a business, understanding your purpose, something that nourishes you as much as it serves others. And you can do that working for other people. You can do that working for a corporation, working for a nonprofit, working for in corporate America. It's just really important that, again, you are resting, you are taking stock and reflecting, and then you are using regeneration as a daily practice. How are you behaving? How are you leading? How are you creating boundaries that help you to honor who you are and still work towards that purpose that you know that you're here to do?
Yeah. Wow. That's beautiful. I think that these three R's are simple and actionable and present a roadmap that really outline a way to reimagine what one can work towards and be
Yeah.
really committed to beyond obviously whatever KPIs or OKRs or objectives
Yeah.
someone has set out for them. I think, the last question I'll ask for you is what is your number one recommendation for somebody that feels like they can't find success or they can't reach success?
Mm. I think I think the answer to that question goes back to what definition of success are you striving for?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can be successful not working in corporate America, being a stay-at-home mom, attending all of the field trips, giving my kids really good lunches, making dinner every night. That could be my success. My success could also be striving to be the CEO of a
Mm-hmm.
company. It could also be working at Starbucks and everybody in the Starbucks, all your customers know your name because every time they walk in, you're greeting them. You know their orders before they get there. Like, what is the success that you're measuring?
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important to reflect and know why you're here. What is your actual purpose? Because once you find that, you can put that anywhere. You
Yeah.
can do that purpose anywhere. It doesn't have to be relegated to a specific area. So that's the recommendation I would give. You got to know what your purpose is, and you have to um, take stock of what you're doing in service to that purpose so that you can actually be successful in it.
Yeah, I love that. And I think being truthful to your why and really understanding what your purpose for your people, for yourself, for whoever you're really trying to impact can go a super long way. I
Yeah.
really thank you for taking the time to break down some great thinking approaches, imagining success.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Mel.